Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. In the world of fame and fortune, what happens when you stand up for what's right? What if that act of courage comes with a price so high, it shatters everything you know? Today we're diving deep into the harrowing story of the actors who fought for justice for Menglong, a star taken too soon. The price they paid for their bravery? Unthinkable. But their story is one of resilience, defiance, and the truth that no one saw coming. Stay with us as we uncover the untold consequences, the personal battles, and the dangerous cost of standing up against an entertainment industry that was ready to erase everything. Menglong's death was more than a tragedy. It was the unraveling of something far greater, something that shook the very foundations of the entertainment industry. To the public, it seemed like another case of a beloved star lost too soon. But for those who knew him, the silence that followed was deafening, almost unnatural. Friends stopped speaking. Studios refused to comment. News outlets ran vague reports filled with contradictions. It was as if a deliberate shadow had been cast over his name, smothering the truth before it could breathe. Behind the polished smiles and glossy magazine covers, a quiet fear spread through the industry. A fear of asking questions, of even mentioning his name. Menglong was known for his gentleness, his humility, and his quiet brilliance. He wasn't the kind of man to seek attention or create drama. Those who worked with him described him as someone who carried light into every room he entered. A man whose kindness was genuine, not manufactured for the cameras. That was why his sudden death felt so wrong. It wasn't just grief that filled the hearts of his fans, it was disbelief. How could someone so alive, so full of purpose, simply disappear without explanation? The official statements painted his death as an unfortunate accident, but fragments of inconsistencies began to surface. There were whispers of pressure, of surveillance, of something darker lurking beneath the surface of his success. Some spoke of late-night calls and untraceable messages, of meetings that left him anxious and withdrawn. He had reportedly confided to a close friend that he felt trapped, that the industry he once loved had become a cage made of contracts and fear. As days turned into weeks, the silence surrounding his passing became more suffocating than the loss itself. Those who had the courage to ask questions found doors closed in their faces. Online discussions were deleted almost as quickly as they appeared. It was as if the world had been told to forget Menglong, to erase him from the collective memory of fame and adoration. Yet, beneath that silence, something was stirring. An unspoken resolve from those who loved him most. They refused to let his story end as a headline buried in yesterday's news. And from that refusal, a quiet rebellion began to grow, one that would expose just how high the price of truth could be. When the world turned its back on Menglong's memory, for people refused to bow to silence. They were not strangers to him, nor mere colleagues passing through his orbit. They were bound by friendship, loyalty, and a shared belief that truth must never be buried. Xingfei, Changyao, Zongyao, and Zhu Jingyi, names once synonymous with rising talent and integrity, became symbols of quiet defiance in an industry built on control. Each of them, in their own way, chose to challenge the unspoken rule that demanded they forget. And for that choice, their lives would never be the same. Xingfei was the first to break the silence. Her message was simple, 7 words that carried the weight of 1,000 truths. He didn't deserve this. He was kind. The post lasted only hours before being erased, but its impact rippled like thunder through an industry built on whispers. Her fans flooded social media, demanding answers, but the more they asked, the faster her presence was erased. Within days, she was removed from upcoming dramas, her endorsements quietly cancelled. Her team claimed it was due to health concerns, yet those close to her spoke of fear, of being watched, followed, and silenced. Changyao's act of defiance was more deliberate. Known for her grace and discipline, she had just been offered her first leading role in years. But after publicly questioning the inconsistencies surrounding Menglong's death, the offer disappeared overnight. The The studio called it creative differences, though insiders knew it was punishment disguised as professionalism. Her courage became her curse, and the career she had spent years building began to crumble. Zhang Yao's rebellion was quieter but no less powerful. A man of few words, his simple statement, "Courage begins where silence ends," was enough to end everything. His contracts dissolved, his interviews were cancelled, and his image was erased from promotional materials of shows already filmed. Friends said he received anonymous calls late at night, warning him to move on, to let go of a truth too dangerous to chase. And then there was Zhu Jingyi, the most unexpected of them all. Known for her flawless image and avoidance of controversy, she stunned the nation during a live broadcast when she whispered, "Some truths are buried deeper than you think." That single sentence reignited everything: the anger, the grief, the need for justice. But in doing so, she sealed her fate. Their bravery was not loud or reckless. It was quiet, deliberate, and devastatingly human. A stand against a silence that sought to erase a man they could never forget. The cost of speaking out was not just measured in lost opportunities or cancelled contracts. It was something far more devastating. It was the slow erosion of identity, the stripping away of everything that once defined them. For Xingfei, Chang Yao, Zhang Yao, and Zhu Jingyi, their courage became both their greatest virtue and their greatest curse. What began as acts of honesty soon turned into a haunting lesson about the invisible power that governs fame, the kind that can erase a person not through violence, but through silence. Xingfei's disappearance from the spotlight was not immediate. It was gradual and cruel. First, her social media accounts went quiet. Then her projects were shelved one by one, until her name became a whisper, a memory. She moved homes twice in a single month after claiming she was being followed. Letters arrived with no sender's name, only a single message scrawled across them: "Forget him or you'll join him." Those who saw her said she was no longer the radiant actress they once knew, but a woman weighed down by invisible chains, living between grief and fear. Chang Yao tried to remain strong, to rebuild quietly. Yet, every new role she accepted mysteriously fell through. Producers stopped returning calls, friends began to avoid her, and even her family was not spared. Her younger brother was expelled from school after what the institution called a disciplinary review. When asked about it in a rare interview, she broke down in tears and whispered, "They don't just punish you, they punish everyone you love." Zhang Yao vanished almost entirely. For weeks, no one knew where he was. Then a blurry photograph surfaced online. His face gaunt, his eyes hollow. Rumors said he had been told to leave the country, that his parents' small business had been shut down under suspicious circumstances. The man once known for his warmth and quiet humor had become a ghost, living in the margins of his own story. As for Zhu Jingyi, her fall was the most public. One day she was adored as a role model. The next, she was branded unstable, uncooperative, difficult. Endorsements vanished. Her management team dissolved. She stopped performing altogether. Fans who caught glimpses of her said she looked haunted, her smile gone, her eyes distant. The entertainment world had not just silenced them, it had rewritten them, erasing their courage from the record, as if their loyalty to truth had never existed at all. What happened next was nothing short of chilling. While these four actors paid the ultimate price for seeking the truth, others like Gao Taiyu, Sun and Fai remained untouched. Gao Taiyu was seen at the same party Menglong attended just hours before his death, yet he continued to rise in the industry with no repercussions. Sun and Fai. They carried on as if nothing had happened. They smiled, they worked, they continued to climb while those who dared to speak out were erased from existence. It's a painful, maddening contrast. But the price wasn't just career destruction. It bled into their personal lives. Family members were harassed, friends questioned. Xingfei moved houses twice in a month. Zhang Yao's parents' small business was shut down under mysterious circumstances. Chang Yao's younger brother was expelled from school. The retaliation was cruel, personal, and systematic. These weren't just actors fighting for a cause. These were people whose lives were destroyed, whose families were torn apart, simply because they dared to ask for justice. But despite the costs, their courage did not go unnoticed. Fans around the world rallied in their support. The truth, though buried deep, began to surface. And while the entertainment industry may have silenced them, their story, their sacrifice, lives on. Menglong may have been silenced, but the truth he left behind has inspired a movement of defiance. These four actors may have lost their careers, but they gained something more powerful, the respect of millions, and the knowledge that justice, though delayed, will always rise to the surface. If you believe in the power of truth, justice, and standing up for what's right, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Update X24H for more stories that will challenge the status quo. Your support means the world, and together, we can make sure that the voices of the brave are never silenced. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates. Stay strong, stay informed, and keep fighting for the truth.